Hi, this is Matt German with Lion of Judah Restoration Ministries coming to you again from Huntsville, Alabama. In this video, I wanted to talk about Bible study tools and terminology. In the last video, I talked about 7 fundamental principles of Bible study, but let's dig in and find out, okay, what are some of the tools that I can utilize in helping me to better understand the Bible? And also, what is some of the terminology that I need to understand to do that? So I'm going to run through a couple of things. I'm going to throw up a couple of graphics on the screen for you to look at to help explain what I'm talking about. The very first word I wanted to talk about is a concordance. And a concordance is this. It's an alphabetical index of the principal words of the Bible. So it's got a reference to the passages in which that word occurs. Many modern Bible versions have an abbreviated concordance in the back. Probably the most well-known exhaustive concordance or complete concordance is Strong's Concordance. And you can find those online, you can find them in the bookstores, and it's a very helpful tool, a concordance. So it's an alphabetical listing of the principal words of the Bible, and it's giving you a reference for all the passages where a particular word shows up. Next up is lexicon. A lexicon is a dictionary of the Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek words of the Bible. So it's a little bit different from a concordance in that it'll give you a pretty comprehensive discussion or definition of each word that it deals with, and that's a lexicon. Next up is a parallel Bible, and a parallel Bible presents 2 or more translations of the Bible side by side in columns. And so that's very helpful for comparing different translations. Parallel Bible. Okay, next is an interlinear Bible, and what an interlinear Bible does is it presents a word-for-word translation of the Bible. So it's got one line of text in the original language, and then the next line underneath that has the translation. And so a lot of times it will be the original text and then a word-for-word translation, and then below that a third line that gives you a readable translation, because sometimes the word order is different in the original language, and so it gives you a more understandable and readable translation of each line of text. So those are just some definitions. Now let's talk about some online Bible study tools. There are tons and tons of these different resources out there. I'll provide some links in the description below the video. One caveat I should mention pretty close up front is modern translations are not necessarily better. A lot of times we tend to think modern must mean it's better, it's newer, but sometimes the modern translations are not bad, not necessarily better. In fact, some of them are pretty bad, and so they stray quite a bit from the original intent and give you a modern interpretation of what a passage means, and it might be way off the mark. So just be aware of that modern is not necessarily better. Okay, some different tools. One of my favorites is called eSword, and again I will provide a link in the description. Now this is free Bible software, and it's got literally dozens of translations available. It's got built-in tools for doing serious Bible study, sermon preparation. It's got a reference library with commentaries and maps and concordances, and it's even got an audio sermon player built into it. So that's eSword. Very good. Highly recommended. A couple of websites I can recommend. One is called BibleStudyTools.com. It's got many English versions and actually many other languages of the Bible as well. Bible translations in other languages. StudyBibleForum.com, and this one is good. I like it because it actually includes an Amplified Bible translation, which I really like the Amplified Bible. And then finally, BibleGateway.com. Let's see what else. Another one that is very good is called the Word Project. This provides the Bible in many languages, from Afrikaans to Zulu to Hindi and Persian and Chinese and Norwegian, just about any language you can imagine. And the neat thing about it is it's also got an audio Bible version for nearly 40 languages at this point. As of the date of this video, it's got nearly 40 languages where you can actually listen to the Bible being read in that language and read along with it. Now I'm learning some languages myself. I enjoy learning languages and studying languages, and so I found this a very useful tool for me. Maybe you don't care about that, but it's pretty neat to be able to sit there and listen to, you know, the Gospel of John, chapter 1. In the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and listen to it in Persian, or listen to it in Swahili, or listen to it in Chinese. And it just gives you a very different take. I mean, it's the same exact message, just translated into a different language, but it's wild to think that the Father is communicating His message. It's a single message, but it's going out in hundreds, if not thousands, of different languages around the world. Very profound, very profound. And one of the other things that the Word Project offers is a parallel Bible feature, so you can read the Bible in English side by side with Spanish, for instance. And I will give, again, the link for that. I did want to make a special mention. You know, a lot of people today like to read the Bible on mobile devices, you know, their iPhone or the computer or their tablet. You know, and I certainly use my laptop for doing a lot of research and reading, but to me, nothing replaces the feel of actually holding a hard copy of the Bible in my hands. And so I wanted to share just a couple of my personal favorites with you, because some people have asked me, you know, well, what Bible do you read? And you know, I tend to read different ones, but I'll share a couple of my favorites. The first one is this one. It's called The Sacred Scriptures, out of Bethel, Pennsylvania. And I really like it. It's very good. It's very accurate. It's a translation that's based on the 1911 American Standard Version, but without the Shakespearean English. You know, it doesn't have the these and the thous and the shalls. It does restore the Hebrew names of Yahweh and Yeshua. It uses Elohim instead of God. What I like about it is, number one, it is very accurate, and it does have the Hebrew names restored. The other thing I like about it for preaching and for teaching is that it reads very easily. It's very easy to use in ministering. And then the other one that I like, and this was actually a gift that I am very grateful for. I speak Spanish. I'm learning and trying to improve my Spanish. This one is called Las Sagradas Escrituras, Versión Israelita Nazarena, and it's from Puerto Rico. And again, it's got all restored Hebrew names, and it's even got transliteration of many Hebraic terms and phrases. So yes, it's got Elohim in there instead of Dios, but it's also got Pesach, P-E-S-A-J in Spanish for Passover, rather than, say, Pascua, which is how it's normally rendered in Spanish. So those are just a couple of my personal favorite translations of the Bible. I think they are very helpful, very useful, again, very accurate, and I just really enjoy them. So that is what I wanted to share about Bible study tools and terminology. Again, I hope this has been a blessing to you. And this is Matt German with Lion of Judah Restoration Ministries. So long, and talk to you soon.